All right, here we go. So, guys, I have a famous TikToker in relativity to myself, the Cason Wallace enjoyer, here to talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Let the people know what's up.
Hey, I'm Cason Wallace enjoyer. I'm 17 years old. I've been watching the Thunder my entire life, and I've watched them through thick and thin. I watched every game of the 2022 season, and my whole motto is to make basketball like sillier. I think that basketball discourse needs to be more lighthearted,
Hmm.
and that's how I grew my account.
That's actually really cool. I'm not gonna lie, man. Keep doing that, man. That sounds fun. It sounds genuine.
Sure.
You love to hear it. So let me ask you this: is it championship or bust time for the Thunder? Is it officially time to put that title on your season next year?
We're contenders this year for sure.
Mm. You see, I have a
I
good
mean,
buddy of mine on Discord. He always jokes. He says, "We're still rebuilding. All right, we give us more time. All right." But now I've convinced him. I told him, no, 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 no. That time is up. Now or
yeah.
never. Get cooking.
I don't think it's even now or never. We got a future
Mm.
regardless. So I think it's just like now until it's over, I guess.
Yeah.
Like we got Topic in the vote now. We got a bunch of picks. We got Shade until 2028, I think. We got a squad for a while.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. So you guys picked up oh my god, now you see now I'm blanking. You see, this is the one thing too. You're gonna learn, man. Sometimes
Mhm.
you're gonna be going on something, you have your
Nah, I
idea,
get it.
but you picked up your big from New York.
Oh my god.
Yes.
That's over
So
the
how
moon.
I'm about to say that must have made you so happy, right? Because the big thing for Dallas was y'all couldn't get a rebound if your life
Mhm.
depended on it. And
Yeah.
what scared me too about that was that the bigs that they had weren't even that like tall or
No.
dominating either. Because I'm pretty sure Chet was the tallest dude on the floor still. So I was like, oh,
Mhm.
okay. Hopefully Chet can kind of, but he was just getting bodied out there. I was like, man, yeah, y'all rebounding help is thank God y'all got your next man up. But I'm curious because I'm a big J Dub guy, but do you
Mhm.
think he's a legit number two for this team going forward?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. I think J-Dub, like, I don't want to sound too crazy, but I think J-Dub is like only like one level lower than like Paolo Banchero.
Hmm.
So like
Okay.
I think that like that means he's a second option, of course, because Paolo is really good.
Hmm.
And I think that J-Dub, like his fourth quarter scoring ability in his sophomore year, like that was insane. And he didn't have his best series against Dallas, but I don't think anyone on the Thunder did. We were missing like wide open threes the whole time and
Right.
stuff. Couldn't get a rebound. That was bad. But J Dub, I think J Dub is the future for this squad as long as he stays. I have a bad feeling that he's gonna be the first to go though.
Why is that? Why is he the first to
I
go?
don't know. It's just like the Chet is like he lives the city now. Like he posts about loving the city. Like J Dub's always like, we need a ball here, and he's always like traveling and stuff. I'm like, this dude wants to play for like a big city, big market team and dominate over there. You know what I'm
I,
saying?
no, I get you. I get you for sure. That's very interesting. I was gonna ask you too. So what do you think when Laurie Markkinen signed his deal and the OKC trade for him just basically went down the drain?
I mean, I just knew it wasn't gonna ever happen. I always saw it on Twitter. I was like, this is not happening, man. And if it does happen, we gotta send over like our entire future.
Hmm.
My guy, Cason Wallace, is probably gone if that happens. Second name
Big case
change
and
coming
wall.
if that happens.
I'm about to say there's got to be a big name change, right? But what happened
Yeah.
there, man? And
Oh,
I was
that'd be
gonna
bad.
so it's so for Chet too. Next season, what are you hoping to see from him? What's the
I
big thing
hope
to help Chet?
to see him turn into like a better Jaron Jackson Jr. as like a
Hmm.
four. Like not specifically next year. I'd hope he'd be as good as Jaron Jackson Jr. next year. But like for the future, I want him to be like a stretch four who can like create and play really good defense everywhere.
Hmm.
Like obviously, I want to see Chet win a DPOI at one point. It's Wemby's league, so I don't know if that's gonna happen, but it would be awesome to see.
Yeah, I get you. So you don't think Chet's a five? You think at the five that's not his thing?
I mean, it is. It's hard to explain. Like I need to see him paired with Hartenstein, but it's the
Hmm.
same thing with like Chet with Drew Timmy back in Gonzaga. that I think he can work as like a stretch four and then like really get in his bag against like power forwards that can't guard the perimeter.
Mhm. Okay, I see what you're saying. And then I'm curious too. So you do have all these young guys, and you do have all these young picks. At what point though are you losing the potential to actually like capitalize on those young guys and young picks?
I don't know, man. I think after this year, if we're not like selling those picks for like another like star, like I think we're making mistakes
Mm.
because it's gonna be like the same thing as like 2012, like OKC, where like we lost Harden because we just didn't have the money, so we just gotta like go all in after next year probably if we don't win this year. But I think if we win this year, people are gonna be more inclined to like take pay cuts to stay because they want a chip.
That's that's very interesting. So I'm curious then. So do you think you guys are the favorites in the West?
In the West, yeah, I'm more worried about the Celtics and the Knicks if I'm being
Oh,
honest. But like I think the Nuggets championship window might be closed. I think that
oh,
the
okay.
Grizzlies are actually still tough. They're going to be really good this year. The West is stacked, but like I think the OKC is just they're just as good as the rest of them, but they got Aaron Wiggins on the bench and stuff. Like that dude
So
could
you
be a
think the
starter.
bench is a difference?
Oh yeah.
Interesting. Because the only reason I ask that is like when you look at because you guys did lose to a team like Dallas, and I don't think
Yeah.
Dallas necessarily is even that high when you look at the West. Um, my that's so interesting though for you guys. You see, that's my thing. My bigger thing for you guys, I think you guys could beat New York, to be 100% honest. New York wouldn't worry me as much if I was a fan of a team in the West and was like trying to look at the East and be like, okay, who would I want to match up with? The only teams I would be afraid of in the East, if it all really worked, obviously you still have Boston because they just won. If Philly made it that far, that means they're
Oh,
healthy,
I
and
forgot
that's
they
just
got Paul
yeah,
George when I
yeah,
said
and that's
that. Oh my
disgusting.
goodness.
And I'm not gonna
That's a
lie,
big
if
three.
yeah, bro. And if the Bucks, if Giannis and Dame figured that out in the
Mm,
playoffs and they were rolling, I'm like, okay, that could be deadly for any team. But I'm curious though. So if I mentioned a matchup to you, right? How many games do you think you guys could win? See, I haven't done this before because usually I
mhm,
talk to guys who are on like I've been talking to a lot of teams and guys who are on rebuilding situations, so I don't really
mhm.
get to do stuff like this. So let's say, okay, you guys play Denver. How many games does that go?
It breaks my heart because Russ is on that team.
Mm.
I think we could win in like 6. I think Jokic.
Oh,
I think we could honestly. It could probably go to 7 though, because Jokic is just like he's so good. And
yeah,
Chet did dominate against them a few times this year. He had like I think 8 blocks or like 7 blocks with like a
yeah.
stat
Okay,
correction or something like that. And then Shea had that game winner. Like we had their number this year, other than the first matchup where they beat us by like a million points. And they're just getting worse, and the OKC Thunder are just getting better.
mm, okay. Let's see. What's another? If you guys played the Grizzlies and they're fully healthy, how's that going?
Oh my gosh, that could go either way, man.
Oh, you think
That
so? You
team
think
is
Memphis is like
that
deadly,
squad is
deadly?
good, but also their bench is kind of horrible. Now that I just like
Hey,
ran it through my head, they got like
but does
Santi
that
Aldama and
but
stuff.
does that
Like,
matter?
I mean, it does.
I mean, look at Boston's bench.
Boston has a squad too. Boston has a bench.
They have
They
paint
got
pressure, dog. What are we doing?
yeah, but he was playing like 6 minutes a game in B and
Exactly.
B's.
The only big dude off that bench was Al Horford, or I guess
That's true.
Porzingis when he was like
Sam Hauser.
sometimes.
He had that one
Oh
that one
hell!
run. He had that one
Oh
like six
hell!
three run in the playoffs, I think, or something crazy.
I guess so, bro. I guess so.
Hey,
You
he's a
might.
dog.
Hey, I
Next,
guess so. In all 3 minutes he plays, he was a dog.
he was a dog.
Uh, I think you'd be surprised though. That's my one concern for you
Hmm.
guys is that yes, you have all those young pieces off the bench, but it's like okay, who are you comfortable benching in those scenarios?
Yeah.
Because my concern for you guys still stands of your backup bigs. I don't know how I feel about that because I remember watching a game, might have been against Denver. No, I think it was when you guys were playing the Warriors. I think it was like the beginning or the middle of the year, and Chet gets like 5 fouls, and there's like a minute
Hmm.
and a half left, and Dagnall sits him for whatever reason. Again, it was like an
Hmm.
early game, so you don't got to worry about playing them through it. And you guys had oh my god, Jeremiah Robinson Earl go in as the
Oh, good.
backup.
goodness, that guy sucked. That
for
guy was
like
bad.
20 seconds. For like 20 seconds. I kid you not. And immediately they had to put Chet back in.
Oh yeah.
That issue still exists for you guys. Like,
Was
even though
it
you do have,
Jalen Williams? Because I think Jeremiah Robinson Earl was off the team this year. Because I
it
remember
might,
he got cut in
it might have
preseason.
been. It might have been. It was
Yeah,
one of, I mean, it was
yeah.
one of the two. Um, but man, like, your backup bigs concern me a little bit. Your guard play isn't as concerning. My only thing is, I'm happy now that J Dub can play his natural position.
Oh yeah.
Because if you guys kept running him at the 4, I don't know how well that would have lasted for. Because I think he's a solid defender. I just think he's at the worst position possible at his size. To be doing that outside of center, I guess. And I guess I'm curious too, like, is Shea where did Shea rank in the NBA for you? See, now
Oh
this is
my
where things get in.
goodness. Like my bias plays in to like say he's like top 3, but like realistically, if I'm looking at it objectively, he's probably like 4 or 5.
Oh, you think he's top 5?
Oh, I know he's
Oh,
top 5.
oh, he knows. Okay.
Yeah, because like it's Jokic. Like, oh wait, no, hold on, maybe not. Jokic, Embiid,
Yep.
Luca. Um,
Is
I think
Giannis better than Shea?
that's like the 2 that I was like going through my head
Whoa.
because like
Okay.
Shea is so like consistent, but like Giannis is just so good at on ball defense and
He's
like
an animal.
Shea's an off ball guy. He gets all of his stats and steals and on the off ball, and it
Mm.
makes him look a lot better than he is on defense.
Also, hold on. You see, now we got something to press this because you see, I've had YouTube comments tell me before, Shea's this elite defender,
He's
right?
good. Like he's probably one of the better like guard star defenders, like
Right.
all-star players who are defenders. I think
Sure.
he's might be the best one if I
Yeah.
like think about it.
Probably.
But
I don't
like
think it's a high bar either.
Giannis is like elite at defense. Like he is one
Yeah.
of the best defenders to like play basketball, probably. Like he's really good.
No, for sure. I feel it. I mean,
So,
it's so curious because Shea's someone that a lot of people have skyrocketing up.
oh yeah,
Him and Brunson are the big 2 guards that are up people's lists, just skyrocketing.
yeah.
That's so. So, what do you think of Dagnall? Is he here to stay? Is he the
Oh
coach
yeah.
for the
Oh, he's
future?
good. I think he had some lapses, but because he was like probably pressured to play Josh Giddey, and I used to be called Josh Giddey enjoyer before like the whole thing happened. That was rough.
Oh, I
That was
see.
really rough. And that dude sucked at basketball that last season. Like he was not good.
Yeah,
It
you
was
see. So,
embarrassing.
I'm a Bulls fan. So,
Oh,
listen.
I
Yeah,
think I'm being 100% honest with you. I think this is gonna be like a resurgent season. Like I've
I'm
been
sure it
saying that,
is. I'm sure it
but I
is.
don't know if it's gonna be empty stats or not.
It absolutely will be. I'm
Yeah.
telling you that now. We are not about to be any good.
Oh yeah.
And I was already pissed. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw we just traded him for Giddy straight up, we didn't get a
No
pick.
picks is crazy.
I
Not
lost
even
my
a
mind. I'm
second
not gonna
round
lie.
pick.
I was
I
driving home. I was so frustrated, bro. I looked at Twitter and I was like, "There's no way this is real. This has to be a fan edit. Like this has to be like NBA Centel. Like I'm being
Mhm.
lied to. You're telling me there's no pick. Oh, I was gonna say. So, what's your starting lineup now? Let's say it like this: your ideal starting
I'm
lineup for this season.
so confused by this now. Like that is like the
Mm.
hardest question of all time because like replacing Giddy with like Caruso makes so much sense.
Right?
But then I feel like with Hartenstein, you either got to take out Dort like or you like maybe bench Hartenstein and maybe play Chet at the 5, even though I was saying it was a 4. But like $30 million to be put on the bench is just wrong. I think so. I think it would probably be like a Shea Caruso Dub Chet Hartenstein, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe like Dagnall wanted to maybe put Giddy on the bench, and that's why he requested a trade. So maybe like Dagnall puts Caruso on the bench and has like a really insane like defensive like bench unit with like Dort, Cason Wallace, and Caruso and all those
So,
guys.
how would you feel about a potential lineup of you have Caruso at the 1, you run Shea at the 2, you put Dub at the 3, you have Chet and Hartenstein
Hmm.
at the 5.
I like that squad. I'd probably put Shea at point though. I think
Do you think
that
that's a big deal?
I do because there's like times where specifically in the first quarter,
Mm.
it was also like it was just Giddy minutes where like they would just let him get the ball for the first 8 minutes and Shea would sit in the corner every game.
Yeah,
And it was hard to watch. Like
I
it was
guess
bad.
so. I guess my one thing is, or not pushback even, but I guess you think the difference here is that Caruso is not known. Like the whole upside for Giddy was around the idea that he was this incredible facilitator, passer,
Yeah.
playmaker, whatever. But that's not what Caruso is. Like,
Yeah.
do you think that that would be okay? Because I mean, at that point, Caruso could be the guy off ball, sit in the corner. Again, as a
Mhm.
Bulls fan watching him, like he doesn't need the ball in his hands to be super effective. So I think it's one of those things of like trying to make it work logistically. Because my one thing is, even with that bench unit of like Cason, Wallace, Caruso, and Dort, is who the hell's creating for those guys. Like again, no disrespect to any of those guys,
I
especially
agree.
Caruso, great player. Cason Wallace, he's a second year player now,
J-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like underrated rookie season, really nice.
Mhm.
Dort, great defensive player, but it's one of those things where it's like they're all great off ball guys. I don't
Mhm.
know if any of them, because at that point it's like who the hell do you have facilitating that bench just as a playmaker? That's my one concern.
In my head, I was thinking that that lineup would be like a lineup to just basically like put the entire game in like a standstill.
Mm,
Like basically like give the starters a rest and like just let these guys go to work on defense and maybe get some transition points. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
there's
I
been
get you.
it's like the those early Piston squads where they would I think they had like a similar situation where they just like bench like Billups and then put in a I can't think of his name. And then they would just like let them go to work and just like basically stop all scoring in the game for the rest.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Something silly like that.
Yeah, so I gotta ask you too, because you're way more on TikTok than I am.
Oh yeah.
My TikTok interaction is very bare. My
Hmm.
fruits are bare. I leave it that way, to be honest. Um, what is a take you've seen? It could be about the Thunder, about a Thunder player, or you sat there and you go, "Why are we saying these things? What's going on
There's a lot of this isn't like this is not recent, but there's a lot of Alexei Pokashevsky takes that were kind of disgusting.
here?" Oh, you don't like the Poku disrespect.
No, I think it was the other way around. Like I don't think he was as good as people were
Mm.
like, this guy is gonna be a starter in 3 years. And I was like, he is playing on a team that is scoring like maybe 100 points a game, losing every single game, and has freaking Josh Giddy as their main facilitator. And it just was not good. Like he had
Yeah.
player of the game one time with like 7, 7, and 7. And people were like,
Mm.
this guy's gonna be up next. I was like, no, he's not,
Oh, you were low
I was
on
a hater.
Poku.
I was a hater.
Okay,
I was
okay.
proven right though,
I
because he's
guess
out of the
so.
league.
He is out of the league, unfortunately. Shout out
Hmm.
to Poku. That's okay. So big Poku was getting respected. You were not here
Hmm.
for it. You
I
were
was not
not
here
about.
for it.
That's crazy. That's crazy. What an enjoyer you are of the Thunder, man. You're not here to enjoy them, man. That's crazy. Um, Let me think. What's okay? I'm trying to think of all the teams in the West. You see, because I'm gonna be honest, and I'm curious. So last year, right, the
Hmm.
Lakers ended up winning their what was it, the first playing game to play the Nuggets.
Hmm.
And I'm curious because I have my thought, but I'm curious, what could you guys have beaten the Lakers if you played them in the first round?
Oh no, I actually was so scared of the Lakers. I don't know what it was. Like I so my mom watched every game with me and she was also just terrified of the Lakers. Like I don't know, we lost to them like every time in the regular season it felt like, and we lost bad. Like they
Mm,
would just Anthony Davis just like was the perfect check counter, and LeBron would always go for like insane games. I think he went like 5 for 5 from three one game and just like
yeah.
shut us out. It was bad.
No, I wholeheartedly agree. You see, I'm happy you said because that was the one thing I felt like, and I guess that's why I'm happy you guys still made moves because I was concerned
Mhm.
that you guys were going to see that you got the second round. What was it? Game seven, right? Was it game seven
It's
you went
game
to with the Mavs
six.
or game six?
It was
Um,
the foul call that was so
oh
devastating.
yeah, oh yeah. I was gonna say. So how'd you
It
feel
was
about
the
that?
right call, but like it could have gone. I think it could have gone either way. It depended on the like the call on the floor, the
Mm.
angle that the ref saw it. I think I don't
Were
like
you
the challenge on that. That was a bad challenge.
was it by Daniel? Right, he went
Yeah,
ahead and yeah, because that was on Shea, wasn't it? Big Shea.
yeah. Because PJ Washington pump fake, Shea got a whole hand on the ball, but then he didn't really release it yet. So like he pulled it back and then shot it, and when he shot it, whole arm on the ball, whole arm on like his arm.
Yeah.
It was a foul, but
That's
I
a tough
mean,
one. Shea
it's
did
a
his
tough
part
one to
though.
call at that time.
Shea did his part in the playoffs. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh
He had
my
a nice little
gosh.
playoffs. He did his part. I guess I'm curious though, like because I think you guys still address some of your key needs, right? Like removing
Mhm.
Giddy, getting another defender kind of guy that can, shoot
Mhm.
consistently. Um, but do you think you've helped Shea? Because at times watching you guys, your offense felt very like stagnant when it was just, Shea's got the ball. I don't think Shea's a bad passer playmaker. I still think it's by far his most need of improvement out of all of his
Mhm.
areas. Outside of maybe, I guess, like attacking the 3-point ball more and making defenses kind
Mhm.
of respect it. Because you can still see guys kind of drop a little bit and be like, okay, like maybe they'll shoot it. We doubt it.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that it's really helped address or force Shea to continue to grow in that area? Or do you think he even will? Like, do you think this is just kind of who he is, passer playmaker, and you just kind of figure it out?
I think that this is gonna help his playmaking a lot, like adding Caruso, getting rid of Giddy. Because like I said, Giddy would get the ball. Like the thing about Giddy is that he was a good on ball player, but Shea and Jada were just so much better than him. So
Mm,
there's really no need for him. So when you park him in the corner, or like not playing him just felt like a waste of talent. So he would just park him in the corner, but that was a waste of his skill set. And people wouldn't respect it and it would clog the lane. So basically, like Shea would drive and beat his man, but the only kick out would be to Josh Giddy, which would just not be the shot you want. So
mm,
adding a guy like Caruso like it would open up the lanes with like a 5-out offense that OKC runs.
right.
And Shea would be able to get to his spot and then be able to kick out when he gets doubled like he usually does and kick out to a shooter that'll like actually be a threat.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So you think for him, his big addition is going to be that kick and drive. Like that's got to
Oh
be
yeah.
something that they're for sure going to run into more. And I'm curious too, like again, you've watched way more games with this team than I have, which is a big reason that I've done this. Is do you think you guys run the PNR with him and Chet enough? Is that something we're going to see more of as it goes on,
I
even if
think
it's a pick and pop?
I think we should, but at the same time, like Shea ISO ball is just like so consistent somehow. Like Shea could literally get 30 points off of just ISOing every single play. And they're like isn't that good basketball. Like that's not how like basketball should be played, but like
Right.
I think the way that they use the PNR, like it doesn't need to be like Russ and Steven Adams did every single play, but like
No. Yeah. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
needs to be just like a little more common. Make Chet like more of a threat, like with the pick, because it just creates confusion on the defense. Like it
I
just help
agree.
out.
I felt like that was the one issue I had with how you guys were using Chet a little bit of times, or when you would just kind of park him out there because
Mhm.
half the time too, it wasn't like he got the ball a whole lot either, to be honest, from what I've seen. Right. It wasn't like they went out of their way to be like, okay, we're running the 5 out. And the intention here is for Chet to get the ball. It was always kind of like, okay, we'll stick the Chet a little tight, but you could tell too at times like Chet would get uncomfortable on the perimeter with like, where am I going? Am I driving this? Am I shooting it? So obviously some of that is just rookie, you know, struggles or learning or whatever. Um, so I guess I'm curious if you're trading all your picks and all your assets, what are you going for or
That's
who?
a great question. I actually don't know. Like I don't. I genuinely would have no clue. Like a dream guy for me, like back in the day, I don't even know if it was realistic. But I remember when Giannis was a free agent, we had enough money to sign him,
Mm,
and then he re-signed. That would have been like insane because that
yeah.
Shea Giannis PNR would literally be like the best duo ever. That'd be insane.
So I have a
But
question.
that's not
If he
possible.
if he wasn't as injury prone, would you give up a lot to go get Embiid?
No, but that's just because
Oh,
I don't like Embiid. I just don't like his bat. I don't. I wouldn't want to watch the games.
oh,
Like that's not even
okay.
me like hating him. Like he's hilarious. Like I love him as a person, but I hate his play style, man. Like every single time I watch him, it's just like he gets the ball and I'm like he does great post moves and he just like instead of trying to just like outwork them, he just kind of like foul baits, which it's basketball, so I understand. Like
Right.
it helps you, like it's free, but like it's just not. It just wouldn't be as fun, you know.
I get you. I just asked that because like I feel like that's the only other huge name that I can imagine that if you poured all the assets out there to him, a
Hmm.
team could take it. Because I feel like at that point, Philly can reasonably just blow it up. Say we have Tyrese Maxey, we get a bunch of young guys too with him now, and we just kind of chill out. Um, so aside from all of that, I wanted to thank you for doing this because this is
Yeah.
your big forte. You know, your I guess your breakout outside of TikTok. Is there anything you want to tell the viewers or the listeners?
Hey, watch out for the Thunder next year, man.
Mm, he did
They're
say
gonna
they
be
were
a
the favorites
squad.
in the West. He did
They're
say
gonna be a
they.
squad.
I'm not gonna
There's gonna be
lie.
a lot of silly videos.
I might have to meme you a little bit though. If you guys do lose in the West, I'm gonna have to meme you with the John Morant. I'm fine in the West.
Hey, if we lose, it's probably gonna be because of like injuries. I think
Oh, you don't think it's you don't think
it's
yo
gonna
my
be
man
injuries or the Grizzlies.
or the you're okay. You're very high
I'm
in the
really high
Grizzlies.
on the Grizzlies. I mean, they made that crazy run with like a worse squad than they have now, and they add Gigi Jackson, who I think is gonna be one of the better players on that squad, and
Mm,
Marcus Smart, who's gonna be a great role player on defense. I think they should start Gigi Jackson over Marcus Smart, which is probably one of my
ooh,
craziest takes. But I
big
watched a
GG
lot
guy.
of Grizzlies games this year. Gigi is not as good of a defender as Marcus Smart, but he just fits in with
Yeah.
that roster a lot more because he'll be
Mm,
a long three for a team that has Ja, Bane, and like
yeah.
Edie and
They do got
Jaren.
Big Edie now.
Oh my gosh, I was not high on that pick, but then I watched him play and I was like,
It might be
man,
nice.
man, this guy's kind of tough.
So the Thunder's the big concern for you. He ain't afraid of no one in the West, guys. Just remember this.
No,
No one in the West puts fear
no.
in his heart. Just be afraid. I'm not gonna lie. You should be afraid of that
I'm
Serbian
actually a
man.
little afraid of the Wolves. Never mind. I just remember them because I was thinking about who would take that clip out of context and make it into a funny video. And the Timberwolf tomfoolery guy will definitely do that if we lose to them. So
Yeah, the
I'm also
Timberwolves, I'm not
afraid
gonna
of the
lie.
Wolves.
That is a team you could lose to. That's another team you
That is a
very well.
scary team.
Yeah,
Rob
especially
Dillingham's pretty good. That's a good addition.
that's a huge addition. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Um, all right, man. But I wanted to thank you for coming on. It means a lot. I'm glad you did this. Um, I'll let you know when this comes out. I appreciate you stopping by, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, my guy.
Yes, sir.